Do you guys remember what happened last time these two teams faced each other on Thursday Night Football? Yeah, Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Dave Loughy here. We got Thursday Night Football. Could be a fun one. Has been a fun one when these two teams meet up. Falcons on the road against the Bucs. Look, both teams coming off a pretty bad game, and we're going to dig into it, all of it right now. As always, though, if you appreciate this content, you think it's helped you along the way, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hey, that hype button down there, I'm told it goes a long way. Give it a nice little tap. See if it does something nice for you and for me. I don't know. Of course, leave a comment, too. Let me know where your thoughts are in this game, specifically in the prop market. I think it's actually a tough day to get anything feeling great about, but I have pulled something for a 50% super boost. Already posted that one to Tails. If you're not there, I'll tell you about it later in the video. But let's get into it here, man. The Bucs are 4.5-point favorites in this one. And I've gone back and forth here thinking, well, you got to go back to the Bucs, right? They're coming off a bad loss at home to the Saints in a divisional spot, massive upset. It's not like it's just that this isn't a two-horse race anymore where it's like Atlanta and Tampa both vying for a one game north of 500 record. The Carolina Panthers actually look decent now, and this, again, that isn't to say that this is a good division. It objectively is not a great division, but there's still a team in the Panthers that if the Bucs go out and lose this game, it's not going to be good. The Panthers are road favorites against the Saints this week. And I think, after that embarrassing loss they had last time they faced them, things aren't going to go particularly well for New Orleans. Plus, what a letdown spot that is for the Saints. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's, tonight's Picks for Every Game video. It'll come out right after this game. But, I look at this and at first I'm thinking I got to go Bucs here, right? I got to lay the 4.5. But I kind of flipped. I know Mike Evans is expected back. I got something for him as well. And I know that Tristan Wirfs is back, which is super helpful. But this just has not been a Tampa Bay team that has shown any promise whatsoever lately. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The Philadelphia Eagles, where they have a lot of pieces, and it feels like they just keep getting more respect on these numbers on the line than they probably otherwise deserve, right? I mean, they lost outright as an 8.5-point favorite last week. They got the win against the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if that was, what were they? That was in Tampa. They got 3 straight home games. And what were they? 3.5-point favorites. They didn't cover there. They got annihilated on prime time by the Rams. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. That's fair, but that was a Sean Tucker game. They still didn't cover there. And then against New England, they also did not cover in that game. I believe they were actually slight favorites. You get my point, right? Like the last convincing win they had was against New Orleans back in week 8. And it wasn't even that convincing. The defense just did everything and set Baker Mayfield and company up for a decent game. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Atlanta Falcons are terrible, right? Like, let's not ignore that the Atlanta Falcons are a really bad football team right now. Has Kirk Cousins seemed to progress a little bit better? I don't know, maybe. But no Drake London is huge. When Cousins did have that 500-plus yard passing game in the overtime win last year, that was one of the most fun games. And I do you guys remember this? That was when Bet365 had that touchdown promo where you would get, I think it was like $5 in bonus bets for every touchdown that was scored, or was it 10? I think it was 5. And there ended up being like 9 touchdowns scored in that game or something egregious. And we were collecting. No, it was $10 per touchdown, I think. $10 per bonus. Because I remember we were having days where we'd get like $7, $80, $90 in bonus bets, and then they totally cut that off. They have the super boost tonight, though, which is pretty sweet. But besides the point, Kyle Pitts, I expect him to play. He's been pretty solid. This is overall not a good team, but it's a divisional spot on Thursday. And yeah, Tampa's at home. So I think you probably lean Falcons here. It's not a game I'm betting on the spread, though. I'm not. I'll tell you guys when I am. I'll tell you when I'm not. What I'd rather do is give you the information here and then get to some of these props so you can make, informed decisions on your own. Tyke Smith is not going to play for Tampa. Cade Otton's not going to play for Tampa. The Otton thing, I mean, what does it really matter at this point? They expect Mike Evans back. Jalen McMillan to make his season debut, but, I mean, how much does he really play? I don't really think there's all that much there. As far as the Falcons go, though, the London news is huge. If you can't get the ball to London, they haven't been able to get the ball to Mooney, even though he's been active. He's as good as inactive in most of these games. I would still lean the Falcons just because the Tampa Bay Bucks have shown me nothing. And I could make the argument and go, well, yeah, but what about the fact that the Bucks are coming off a really tough loss, right? A really ugly loss, an embarrassing loss. Yeah, so are the Falcons. And now it's a divisional spot. These games tend to get weird. Kirk Cousins last year played extraordinarily well against the Bucks. As a matter of fact, I believe they got wins in both of those games, both in Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I would be correct. 36-30 in overtime, 31-26. Cousins had strong games in both of those. So I'm going to lean Falcons here. I'm going to put a half unit on it so I have something to sweat. But this is more so just a degen. Give me something other than I really love this play. I have a lot of spots I like for tonight's video that'll be up around 11 Eastern. Make sure to check that out. But for now, what do you say we get to this same game parlay? Bet365 was kind enough to grace us with a 50% super boost on a Thursday. Usually it's only on Monday, and I've got one for you. Here's the deal. I posted it on Tails already last night. I posted parlays for Sunday on Tuesday. So make sure you're following me over there. All my bets are free all season long. We hit that Gibbs ladder. We hit the 70-yard ladder at plus 600 on last Thursday. And my God, that Monday game, look, I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's a bad beat. But we had the Kamani Vidal 10-plus rushing attempts, and then we had 15-plus at plus 750. He was at 14 at the end of regulation. And I know you guys who were sweating that with me saw the fate. It looked like Herbert had passed it or had handed it off to Vidal on the first, because Vidal takes the kick return, right, to open the overtime period. And Herbert with the handoff, nope. It was it was an RP. You see the camera angle on Vidal, and I'm like, nice, he got 15. Let's go. And then the camera goes over to Herbert, and he's taking off like 20 yards downfield. That one hurt, man. But whatever. We got the 10-plus, and we're going to see if we can get this one. I took a plus 320 and boosted it to plus 480. It's going to be Baker Mayfield over 18.5 rushing yards. I've bet him 3 straight weeks now on the over for rushing yards. It was a little lower the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to go back to it. And then I'm going to go Kyle Pitts here at 40-plus receiving. I don't feel comfortable going with 60, but I don't mind it at 40-plus. He has a 27% target share in the games he's played with Cousins where Drake London missed this year, and I think 40 is super attainable in a spot like this. Plus, Tampa Bay is a pass funnel defense. And of course, with Baker Mayfield, the reason I've been grabbing the rushing overs is because he said before that Rams game on primetime, this was an Easter egg, and I posted this on Tails as well. It was a live bet. Like I said, links in the description. Just create a free account. There's no charge. You can check the leaderboards to see who's crushing. Follow whoever you want. Follow me. Turn on notifications. One tap bet, and comments are open. So come hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think of some of these. Kyle Pitts, or the reason I'm going Mayfield here is because he talked about it. He said, I got to run more. I got to be more aggressive. And it's exactly what he's done. He's rushing 5-6 times every game and breaking those loose when he gets the opportunity. And finally, Kirk Cousins under 1.5 rush attempts in this game. I like that quite a bit. Now, Tampa's given up production to running to quarterbacks on the ground. Kirk Cousins is not one of those guys. The only downside here is that if he has to kneel. But as 4.5-point dogs, this does not feel like a scenario where you're getting them in kneel down situations in a really fierce battle between two divisional opponents, one of whom really needs to win this game. We boosted that to plus 480. I've got one more pick that I posted exclusively over on Tails today. I like this one quite a bit, and I will be hitting that FanDuel 25% boost as well throughout the day. So if you're following me there, one click tail it. Don't worry about ever adding it into your bet slip, and I will see you guys back here tonight. Picks for every game in week 15. Bye-bye.